Welcome to Be Human podcast, episode 36 on art. So, today I wanted to talk about art and how it relates to us being human because as long as basically humanity has existed, we've been creating art to express ourselves. So, this one's actually going to be like I think a relatively positive episode for once. Like, because really the only negative thing with, art is, AI art. That's like the only real, thing that's been encroaching into art's territory of late, but uh, yeah, I've probably already mentioned about AI stuff before, how it's just generally morally not that great. I am interested to see where the technology goes, obviously, as I'm a person that, is curious to see what is possible with it. As there's always potential to something, even if it doesn't seem, great. It's like you never know what can come of it. So, you know, don't, judge things too quickly. Obviously, people shouldn't be using it for, their own gain when it's not even their own work. But yeah, that's its own, whole can of beans I've probably talked about before. Have I actually done a thing for um, uh, AI at any point in either podcast? Let me see. AI. Oh yeah, I did do AI for an episode in the To Be Human podcast. Can barely remember. But then again, it was back in May, so it's been like 4 months. Yeah. So it. I won't always remember things, but yeah. Um. Yeah. And I once did also some other episodes where it was like a few AI like images while just to test what's possible and also AI story sort of thing. I do kind of want to do that again just to see, like, with something like, I don't know, like GPT, just to see, like, how the technology has progressed since that video. Like, and it was fairly enough. Like, basically, like a year ago, September the 18th, the recording of this is on September 2nd. I don't know when, schedule this, but I'll probably be, in like the next week or whatever. So, but yeah, it's been a year, so would be something I guess I be curious to see how things have gone, but with the technology, just to do, I don't know, a semi comparison or something, I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting a bit too off track now about AI. I've said my piece about AI before. I don't know exactly, you know, why I said, and, you know, if not, my opinions to back then would be particularly different. But yeah, anyway, let's, you know, forget about, you know, AI and talk about art, like true art. The art that, you know, only can really be created by you. Like, some art, you know, sometimes you need, like, other things to complete the art, obviously. Like, how I use, you know, Gmod and its add-ons to complete, you know, my story. Because otherwise, if I were to create, you know, everything from scratch, that would take an absurd amount of time. Like, it's not wrong to technically use other things to help you. What's wrong is to, you know, like, you know, in no way, form, or shape, credit those who, I guess, helped you along the way, but be a pain and, you know, credit, like, every single, you know, add-on creator that, you know, at this point I've used, you know, thousands of add-ons and all that, you know, like, so it's a bit, you know, hard, like, in my case, because the amount of work be kind of absurd. So, you know, like, there's a certain point where it's, you know, technically acceptable, you know, not to create. Otherwise, like, then nothing's ever going to be done because you're just going to be, you know, being like, thank you, blah, 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 and then thank you, blah, 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 and then you get nowhere. It's basically the same logic of once you're like a, you know, large YouTuber with thousands of Patreons, like, you're not gonna have time to read out, like, everyone's, you know, name, like, that's absurd. It's just wasting time. But, you know, creating those that are critical, so if they did something specific, you know, like a thumbnail edited for you or whatever, but yeah, not, I do my own editing and rarely my own thumbnails. Uh, uh, but yeah, like, critical, um, like, critical, like, you know, uh, like, thanking people, um, critical, crediting people. Anyway, I don't know why I forgot the word credit for a second there, minute there. Um, they literally said, I think earlier about, yeah, um, yeah, um, so, yeah, when it's critical, credit, the people, if you have time and you make it known, you know, like who specifically you're gonna, credit, you know, you know, put in the effort, whatever, for those that help you with your art, because credit, you know, is important. But yeah. Anyway, let's get back to what I was gonna say earlier. Though, kind of went on a tangent there. But I guess at least that tangent was relevant. I guess the AI one was also semi-relevant. But anyway, back to what I was going to say. So art has existed, since dawn of humanity. We've always had and made different forms to express ourselves, like starting off with simple cave paintings, or like old, like you know art stuff, as even language in a way could be art, writing on the wall, you know hieroglyphics, all sorts of stuff, you know that has been used through history to as express like oneself. And yeah, but yeah, but now reaching the one day, again, that there's lots of technology out there now, which again, my point earlier about AI is encroaching on that, and for actual art, it's proper credits those who help that you create whatever you're creating. Again, to whatever's a reasonable extent, because again, there's some cases where again, thanking everyone that that's made a Gmail and I've like probably used in my series would probably take like hours upon hours upon hours, like I have 3,000 favorited items at this point in Gmod. If I was to say every name of every creator of an add-on that I've ever used in my series, it's literally like take up so much time. So like obviously there's cases where you can't create everyone because like it'd be nigh impossible. It take up so long. But when it's critical credit, like if that's like a specific, like if it's like a specific like add-on that you get like commission that happen, or thumbnail, whatever, something made should be properly credited. Even, yeah, again, you're paying for it, but yeah, you should still as ultimately credit. But yeah, art is a key part of, you know, to be human. Yeah, and the name of the podcast, kind of being mad again, but whatever. But yeah, so yeah, art, I guess also, it's critical to preserve because art is like, you know, sort of a part of history. Like, it can sort of tell you what was going on at the time through the arts. Yeah, again, it's like the saying, painting contains a thousand words because it can tell you so much more than just, you know, what's, directly in the picture, but what's, the indirect, like, it can tell you about the time period, what things might have been like back then, what were the circumstances, what were people like, it art's a piece of history, and hopefully, art will be preserved. All art, like everything, because everything is sort of art in a way. And again, I mentioned before, language is kind of art in a way. So yeah, like, you know, people often, discuss what really art is, and, you know, some people, have the simple minded view of like paintings are the only art, but is that really true? Is painting really the only form of art? Like, I think video games are art in a way, and that's something, you know, that probably should be preserved, different video games. I mean, some video games are a bit, but, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, so even trashy games are probably going to be liked by someone. Like, look down at, like, look at, look down. I don't know why I said that. Well, I kind of know why I said that because it's part of the title of the game I'm about to say. But look at Hunt Down. That's why I said down. Like, look down. Look at Hunt Down the Freeman. It was not a great game, but yet, despite its kind of trashy nature, there's a sort of fun you can have with sort of half baked garbage games occasionally. Like, it's its own art in its own way. Like, half baked games sometimes can be, fun, and even they deserve to be preserved to some extent. You know, even the trash ones, like, some of them, maybe not all of them, maybe not any video games out there that could, like, contain, like, either, like, racist, sexist or like generally bad themes, as long it's not, too far. If it's for like satire, I think it's like fine. Like if it's a satirical take on things, then I think it's probably fine. I mean, like, you know, stuff with, World War II villains. I'm not going to say the other N word just because of prior things with YouTube, but goddamn YouTube. But the like like World War II villains are pretty bad, but Wolfenstein is still, I guess, a game that is of a good enough quality that it probably should be preserved. Like it's only certain other games that probably would be bad if they like really had a like I guess no filter or whatever. Like, but then again, maybe all games should be preserved because it can show good examples versus bad examples. Like, here's a good example of this technically bad thing. Now here's a bad example of this bad thing, and give clear comparison of stuff. So, because if you try to, wipe out, parts of history, it's like the old saying, those who do not learn from history are destined to repeat it. And like I've learned that saying one true from VR chat, SCP Secret Lab, and Pixel Gun. All those led to the same result for me. Well, relatively. Pixel Gun was the only one to avoid it burning like to YouTube warning, but it burnt a lot. I guess brighter in a lot of ways, but I'm not gonna go into a tangent about that and try not to go off topic for this episode too much, because so far my tangents have been semi-relevant, but yeah, yeah, um, in general, I guess maybe all art should be preserved. I don't know. I guess that's something that would take more than just me to decide. Would take a lot of people because it's best for like those decisions to probably be made by a greater mass of people, like which art should be preserved, and yet again that there has to be like some sort of thing to defend things that aren't naturally considered art because they deserve, a chance to. Video games deserve a chance to as a form of art. But yeah, either way, art can be made through a lot of forms that, um, as my brain breaks. But art can be made in a lot of different ways. Art can be a lot of things, not just video games, not just paintings, not just language, but also like so many things, even buildings are a form of art, like they've got, constructed to look a certain way, and some buildings are definitely, more extravagant than others. Like, and to make some of them, it's, basically engineering, marvels, essentially, to create, buildings as art. Like, anything can be really art if you look at it, even if it may not seem it. Like, you know, some things, had that can, craft put into it. And that's what I guess, truly makes art. If there's care and, you know, you know, creativity like put into it, then it's art. Like, someone had to think of, the how, words would work. Like, someone in their brain had to be like, what if apple relates to this fruit that I discovered? You know, what if this connects to that? And correlations and stuff. And then the whole language forms. So, yeah, someone had to, create the thing. Someone had to come up with the ideas and, practically make it. Or, at least theoretically make it if it's like a theoretical concept, whatever. A lot of different theoretical things, but yeah. But yeah, like, those things were, if they're created with creativity, it's art, and yeah. And art will continue to persist on and on, probably, forever, even probably beyond, humanity, because, aliens probably would have art too. I wonder what aliens' art would look like. If it be any particularly different, or would it be similar to ours? Would aliens... We always think aliens would look different to us, but would aliens look similar to us? Because, there's the same, elements and all that, scattered across the whole universe. So, like, would, you know, intelligent, intelligent aliens be similar looking to us? And would they make similar art to us? I think it could be quite possible, as it's probably would happen. Like, maybe they would have, like, blue skin or something, who knows? But, I guess that would have to be, seen for, you know, you know, for, like, ourselves, if we ever get to that point in space exploration. And yeah. But yeah. Either way, art will persist one way or another, I think, for probably, technically the whole existence of the universe. And it's also multiverse, which again is also a possibility that I believe in. So yeah, art I think will persist in one way or another, no matter what. And yeah, and it's a critical part of us, being human. And it might be a critical part of aliens being aliens. If they're out there, which again seems like a possibility. I guess it's also, same for the multiverse. Multiversal beings probably need art too, so yeah. But either way, art's cool. Art will always be around. And yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap things up because there's not much else to say. And respect artists because they put a lot of time and work into things that create whatever they're creating, even if they technically didn't create everything, like, because sometimes that's, just not possible. Like, do you expect the artist to be the one to, create, like, Adobe, Photoshop, or, like, Shotcut? That's, like, the editing program I use. Like, do you expect them to, program and, do all that? No, it'd be pretty, you know, you know, unreasonable to expect everyone to do everything all of the time, like to create everything absolutely from scratch. It'd be kinda unreasonable, but when you can, credit with, what's, essential to be credited, like, credit, the people making your thumbnails, the people that edit, even the people you collab with or may have only done a small part of it, make certain that do your part and, credit those people, as they could always probably use the credit. And yeah, it's a good thing for, resumes, and all that. It's like, it's good for, you know, what you've done in life. But yeah. Anyway, art is definitely a key part of being human. Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna always be trying to be creative through my videos, even if I've technically, not made everything in them, again, the add-ons, a critical lifeblood of me doing stuff, but, yeah, uh, um, art is a cool one, yeah. But anyway, I think I'm going to conclude all as I'm going to start going in circles, so yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you if, subscribed or any of that. Yeah. Uh, yeah. That'll be it for this podcast episode. And yeah, peace until the next episode.